trying to sell dirty jobs in 2003 with no real success, and the network said we do have some. I was trying to sell dirty jobs in 2003 with no real success, and the network said we do have something though that we're kind of curious about, which is crab fishing in the Bering Sea. Would you be interested in exploring that? And I said, yeah, sure. And they showed me some footage. Little boats, big water, cold, all right? And so I flew from San Francisco to Seattle, Seattle to Anchorage, Anchorage, one of those little planes that become a statistic down in job number 7 or 8 there, called Pen Air, and they fly you to the middle of the Aleutian chain, and you land at Dutch Harbor, Alaska. And you get off the plane and you check into what looks like it might have been a motel once upon a time, and then you get on one of these boats and you start fishing. And then you realize what actual fishing really and truly is. 20, 30-foot seas, temperatures that can swing 40 degrees in 5 minutes. You want to talk about danger. I actually thought this was a misprint. You'll love this. They gave me an actuarial chart before I went out on the boat. 3 columns, injury rates, catastrophic injury rates, and mortality rates. Now, I'm on this little Pen Air flight from Anchorage to Dutch, and it's sporty, right? I got a bush pilot up there, and he's like saying, all right, folks, hang on. We're going to give... Whenever you're landing and the pilot comes on and says, you know what? Let's give it a shot. Right? You can hear the sound of your sphincter slam shut, and you're just like, the pilot's going to give it a shot, because like 40% of the flights that come into Dutch, they abort. They just turn back around and they land in Cold Bay or some other place, because you're flying in between mountains and the wind is crazy. And so I'm on this plane being just up and down and back and forth, and I'm reading these actuarial charts, and I'm thinking, somebody's just fucking with me, and this can't be true. What do you think the injury rate is for a man who works on a crab boat for a full season, which is about, at that time in 2003, is 6 weeks? The injury rate.
20%?
Higher.
50.
Higher.
100%. Yeah, you're going to get injured on those type of jobs.
You are correct, Adam. 100%.
Yeah, that's why I don't do those kind of things. I stay here on podcast.
And to be clear, a couple of stitches, broken finger, right? A mild, contusion. You're going to get knocked around.
For sure.
Guaranteed. Catastrophic injury rate, 8%.
Wow. 6 weeks.
So, yeah, an iron pot's going to slide across an icy desk and shatter your pelvis. All right,
Jesus, Mike,
you're going to lose an eye. You're going to dislocate an elbow. A helicopter is going to come, again, flown by one of these poor bastards down in category number 7, who's probably not going to make it back, to drag your ass off the boat, right, to some hospital. They're 8%.
Yeah.
Okay. The mortality rate, column 3, it's not even a percentage. They don't even give it a percentage number. 1 a week.
1 a week.
Right. Now,
1 a week.
So again,
death?
One person statistically is going to die every week during the 6-week period of crab fishing on the Bering Sea. Now, people who watch that show, which by the way is now in its 20th season.
Is it Deadliest Catch?
This is deadly. This is a show I've been narrating from the jump.
Yeah.
They know you can't script the Bering Sea. We know something bad is going to happen, but we don't know when. And in that first season, I spent 6 weeks up there. When I left, everybody I met, including me, had gotten injured. 8 and 10, or 8 out of 100, 8% had gotten seriously hurt. And I went to 6 funerals.
Wow.
The actuarial chart in 2003 for injury rates and mortality rates on the Bering Sea was not, in fact, an actuarial chart. It was a prophecy, and it came true 100%. And when I got back to the States and talked to my friends at Discovery, and we all looked at this footage, we realized that the question you're asking is not so different than what What do people want to watch? Like, what does satisfying curiosity really mean? What does discovery really mean? Is it limited to, how the universe works and planet Earth, or can we look at what it means to leave the cave and bring home the meat? Like, is that actually a thing you can do on television? And when we saw that footage and we saw real men, most of whom, the lower 48 doesn't know exist. I mean, nobody had ever gone up there with cameras before, much less put them on a boat, much less get to know the deckhands and the greenhorns and the captains and live in the midst of that shitstorm. Nobody even knew it was happening. The Pribilof Islands, what are those? What do you mean you're 50 miles off the coast of Russia with 800-pound crab pots going over the rail? What do you mean you don't sleep for 48, 58, 70 hours at a time? What do you mean 6 people are going to die in the next 6 weeks? Like, all that stuff was unknown, and then all of a sudden it was self-evident.
To order your Future Looks Bright hat, click over here, and to watch the entire podcast.